10 hidden female weaknesses men need to know now. Old Stoic wisdom. Many men approach relationships with the belief that they need to impress women through wealth, appearance, or charm. But what if the real secret to attraction isn't what you think? It's rooted in understanding subtle psychological cues, weaknesses, vulnerabilities, and emotional triggers that women may not even be fully aware of themselves. Just like men, women have subconscious desires and emotional responses that often govern their behavior. However, most men don't know how to recognize or navigate these hidden aspects. Today, we're going to uncover 10 hidden weaknesses in women, the psychological triggers that, when understood, will transform the way you interact with the opposite sex. Let's dive in. 1. The power of emotional certainty. Women, by nature, are deeply emotional beings, but don't mistake their emotions for weakness or instability. Their emotions are powerful forces that drive many of their decisions, especially in relationships. However, beneath this emotional depth lies a hidden vulnerability that men must understand: their overwhelming need for emotional certainty. This need is not a sign of fragility, but rather a fundamental part of their emotional makeup. A woman seeks emotional security in a relationship, not just fleeting moments of passion or excitement. She craves stability, the kind that makes her feel safe, assured, and confident that she won't be abandoned, especially during tough times. And this is where many men falter. Women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit emotional certainty, the kind of men who, no matter the storm around them, remain unshaken. These are the men who are the rock in the chaos, the ones who don't panic or lose their cool. This emotional steadiness is a quality that women instinctively recognize as strength. If you, as a man, are reactive, moody, or emotionally dependent on her, it signals weakness. It communicates to her that you are unable to regulate your emotions, which threatens the emotional safety she desperately craves. Picture this. When a woman feels she must stabilize you emotionally, she is forced to take on a role that undermines your position in the relationship. The roles have reversed. She is no longer the nurturing partner, but instead, she becomes the dominant force, and that imbalance kills attraction. This is where the wisdom of the old Stoic mindset becomes invaluable. To embody Stoic confidence is to remain steadfast in the face of emotional turbulence. When she is upset, you remain calm. When things don't go your way, you don't lash out in frustration or despair. Instead, you face challenges with quiet resolve. The old Stoic philosophy teaches us the power of an iron mind, one that is unshaken by external circumstances. This is the kind of strength that women are instinctively drawn to, though they may not always understand why. As a man, you must understand that this emotional certainty is not just a trait. It is a necessity in maintaining a healthy and strong relationship. Women want to feel secure, to know that no matter what life throws at you, you will remain unbroken. This emotional strength provides the foundation for trust and connection, and without it, the relationship falters. When you can provide this sense of emotional stability, you become a safe haven, a place of refuge for her when life is uncertain. This is the iron mind, a tool that will serve you well in all aspects of your life, not just in relationships. So, what should you do? Stop being reactive. Stop seeking validation from her to stabilize your emotions. You must master yourself, regulate your own emotional state, and show her that you are a man who can weather any storm. Embrace the principles of old Stoic wisdom, embody calmness in the chaos, and never let her see you falter. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means handling them with grace and control. Your strength, your stoic resolve, is what will keep her coming back. And in turn, you will create a relationship that is grounded in emotional certainty where both partners can thrive. The lesson is clear. Don't be the fragile one in the relationship. Don't let her take on the dominant role because you are too emotionally volatile. Stand firm in the face of adversity. Be the calm in her storm. That's the kind of man who will earn her respect, admiration, and, ultimately, her love. The Old Stoic path is not one of emotional suppression, but of emotional mastery. And when you master your emotions, you create the foundation of a powerful, lasting relationship. 2. Women are drawn to what they can't have. There is a fundamental truth rooted deeply in practical Stoicism and the paths of wisdom that men must understand. Scarcity creates value, and this principle governs attraction in ways most men overlook. Diamonds don't command awe simply because they shine. They do so because they are rare and hard to obtain. The same applies to limited edition sneakers and luxury cars. They become coveted precisely because they are not easily accessible. Women, too, operate on this ancient law when it comes to attraction. A hidden female weakness that many men fail to recognize is that women are instinctively drawn to what they cannot fully possess. It's not about playing games or deceit. It's about understanding a deep-seated truth of human psychology as revealed by practical Stoicism. The things that are hardest to get hold of are the ones most valued. Men who are constantly available, who display eagerness without restraint, or whose attraction is glaringly obvious lose their appeal quickly. Women may appreciate the attention they receive, but appreciation doesn't translate into pursuit. A woman's desire is ignited when she perceives a challenge, when there is a gap, a mystery, or a distance that beckons her to close it. This is why men who seem indifferent, who don't wear their feelings on their sleeves, or who maintain an air of unreadability often become irresistible. It's not because women want to be ignored or treated coldly. It's because their subconscious mind assigns greater value to the uncertain and the unattainable. The challenge for any man seeking to harness this knowledge is to strike a balance between presence and mystery. You must not make yourself perpetually available. You must resist the urge to rush to her every beck and call. Your life cannot revolve solely around her desires and schedules. Instead, maintain a strong sense of independence and self-possession. Have interests, ambitions, and friendships that exist outside the relationship. By doing so, you become a man who lives by the practical Stoicism creed: self-mastery over impulses and emotions. Reveal yourself slowly and deliberately. Don't spill all your cards at once. Let her discover your layers gradually, like an unfolding story that keeps her intrigued and eager for more. The instant she feels she has won you entirely, that the mystery is gone and the chase is over, her interest begins to fade. This is a crucial lesson from the paths of wisdom. Retain something just beyond reach, something that keeps her curiosity alive and her desire engaged. This is not manipulation. It is the natural law of attraction, the wisdom that the most valuable things in life are those not easily obtained. By understanding and applying this principle, you create a dynamic where she is continually drawn to you, not because you are desperate or overly available, but because you embody strength, independence, and the quiet power of restraint. In modern life, where instant gratification is common and availability is often expected, this lesson from Old Stoic wisdom stands as a powerful counterbalance. Don't lose yourself by giving too much too soon. Protect your energy, command your presence, and keep a part of yourself reserved for only those moments when the time is right. The woman you want to attract and keep will respect you more, desire you more, and chase you more when you live by this truth. Embrace this as a guiding principle on your journey, a beacon of practical Stoicism that teaches you to value scarcity and mystery not just in things, but in yourself. That is how you transform attraction from a fleeting spark into a lasting flame. If you understand the power of scarcity and mystery in attraction, drop a comment right now. I am the man who knows his value. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, true strength lies in self-mastery and the quiet power of restraint. 3. The unspoken influence of deep voice and presence. Listen carefully. Your voice and presence are your most potent, unspoken weapons of attraction, wielding power far beyond what words alone can convey. A deep, controlled voice is no mere accident of nature. It is a primal signal embedded in evolutionary psychology, an unmistakable beacon of dominance, confidence, and leadership. Women are hardwired to respond to this because it broadcasts strength, stability, and a natural command over one's environment, qualities that demand respect and ignite desire. Epictetus taught us that true power is found within control over your mind, your actions, your presence. This presence isn't about volume or pitch alone. It's the raw energy you radiate before you even say a word. It's how you carry yourself, posture straight and unyielding, movements deliberate and calm, a measured pace that reflects unwavering purpose. Presence is the quiet force behind every glance, every stance, every breath you take in a room. When you maintain steady eye contact, not a flicker of nervousness, you tell the world you own that moment. You command respect without demanding it. Contrast this with weakness, the slouched shoulders, the fidgeting hands, the uncertain, hurried voice that signals a lack of confidence, even if you don't realize it. Women sense it immediately because it betrays hesitation and vulnerability. And in their instincts, hesitation is weakness. The modern Stoic man knows this well. Presence is the silent battlefield where attraction is claimed or lost before a single word is spoken. It's the battleground where Epictetus, stoicismwin, where your internal mastery manifests externally, where you project strength and control over chaos. Marcus Aurelius once declared, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strength, this Stoic discipline, is what fuels your presence and ultimately makes you irresistible. Women are drawn not just to what you say, but to the force you embody, the energy you emit. Master your voice, refine your presence, and you'll become a magnet for attraction, effortlessly pulling women toward you without the need for flashy gestures or empty words. Your voice should be calm and deliberate, slow and controlled, as if every syllable carries the weight of your authority. Speak with conviction, because hesitation in your voice is the enemy of desire. Stand tall, move with intention, never rush or fidget, and hold eye contact like a predator sizing up its territory. This is not arrogance, it's confidence born of self-command. Don't underestimate the power of silence either. Sometimes your quiet dominance says more than 1,000 words could. In modern life, where distractions abound and shallow interactions are common, your presence is your differentiator. It cuts through the noise, carving a space where you are respected, admired, and desired. The stakes are high. If you fail to own your presence, you forfeit your power and your chance to win her attention. The fear of missing out, FOMO, isn't just about events. It's about missing your own opportunity to become the man women can't ignore. Use reverse psychology on yourself. Don't seek validation. Command it. Don't wait for permission. Take what's rightfully yours. That is how the Stoic wins, how Epictetus's teachings become living strategy. Now, it's your move. Own your space. Strengthen your voice. Sharpen your presence. Command attention without saying a word. Become the man women notice before you even open your mouth. Like this post if you're ready to seize your power. Comment below with your own stories of mastering presence and share this wisdom with men who need to hear it. Subscribe now to keep learning how to turn silent power into unstoppable attraction. Don't hesitate. Dominate your world. Stoicism wins. Epictetus wins. You win. 4. Women can't resist a man who walks away. Want to trigger a woman's deepest fear? Walk away like you don't need her. The Old Stoic wisdom imparts an essential lesson that all men should internalize: to master one's emotions and cultivate an iron mind. This wisdom teaches that true strength is not about force or dominance, but about emotional control, understanding, and self-respect. Now, one of the most powerful yet lesser-known truths about women is this: they can't resist a man who walks away. It's a subtle but profound fact. When a man knows his worth and demonstrates that he doesn't need her, it triggers a woman's deepest, primal fear. Fear of loss, fear of missing out, fear of losing someone valuable. It's simple human psychology. People tend to value what they are most afraid of losing. And when it comes to relationships, this is amplified. The mere act of walking away communicates to a woman that you are not desperate for her, that your self-worth is not reliant on her validation. The instant she senses that, Her interest shifts in ways she can't control. The thing is, most men get this all wrong. Instead of walking away, they do the opposite. They chase, they beg, they over-explain themselves, often apologizing for things they shouldn't be sorry for. They try to fix everything, thinking that somehow, by doing so, they will regain control over the situation. But what they fail to understand is that this behavior only shows one thing: desperation. A man who chases, pleads, or tries to fix things immediately signals to a woman that he needs her more than she needs him. And this imbalance of power is one of the biggest turn-offs. It creates a dynamic where she is in control, and he is left feeling powerless. Women, like men, need to feel that their partner respects himself and has his own life outside of the relationship. They crave the sense that their man is strong, independent, and able to walk away if the relationship isn't fulfilling. This is where the Old Stoic mindset comes into play. A man who has cultivated an iron mind doesn't react impulsively or out of fear. He understands that walking away isn't a sign of weakness, but rather a testament to his strength. A man who is willing to walk away at any moment communicates a confidence that no words can capture. It's a message that says, "I don't need you. My self-worth is anchored in who I am, not in how you see me. I am complete on my own." This mindset is far more than just a strategy. It's a reflection of a man who values himself above all else. When a woman sees that you are not desperate for her, she begins to see you in a completely different light. She may even become more attracted to you, not because you are playing games, but because you are standing firm in your own self-respect. You are not clinging to her validation because you have already validated yourself. This is not about manipulation. It's about embodying the highest form of self-respect. It's about having the courage to walk away when necessary, without hesitation or regret. When you adopt this mindset, you don't have to chase. You simply live your life and let things unfold naturally. You don't beg for love, you let it come to you. This is a radical shift in thinking for many men, especially in today's world where society often teaches the opposite. But remember, the old Stoics knew that the key to peace and strength lies in independence. As Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." When you walk away, you are disregarding the things you cannot control, including her behavior and feelings. You are only concerned with what you can control: your actions, your peace, and your integrity. In real life, this might mean walking away from someone who disrespects you, who plays games, or who isn't valuing you in the way you deserve. The moment you stop fearing the loss of a person, you stop putting your own happiness in someone else's hands. And that's when you truly become free. To paraphrase the great Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. When you embody these principles, you become the kind of man who commands respect, not because you demand it, but because you naturally exude it. Your value is inherent, and when a woman senses that, she will inevitably value you more. You will no longer have to chase her, she will start chasing you. So ask yourself, have you ever had to walk away? What did you learn from that experience? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might just inspire someone else to take that first step toward building an iron mind and mastering their own emotional strength. Remember, the key to attracting respect and true love is not in your ability to chase, but in your ability to walk away. Don't hesitate. If you've read this far, you've already unlocked one of the most powerful truths of relationships. The Stoics were right. Strength lies in knowing when to walk away, not when to chase. So ask yourself, are you ready to stand firm in your self-respect and walk away if necessary? Drop a comment below with the words, "I choose strength over desperation." Let's start a conversation and inspire each other to master our emotions and reclaim our power. 5. A man with a mission is her kryptonite. A man with a mission is her ultimate kryptonite, far more powerful than good looks, money, or even charm. Practical stoicism and the paths of wisdom have long taught that a man's true strength lies not in superficial attributes, but in his unwavering purpose. Women instinctively sense this. They are drawn not to a man who waits for validation or approval, but to one who is fiercely committed to a goal larger than himself. Whether it's building a thriving business, mastering a demanding craft, or conquering a personal challenge, a man who lives with purpose radiates a magnetic energy that women find impossible to resist. This is not a coincidence. It's a law of human nature, rooted in ancient truths, and reinforced by practical stoicism. Purpose breeds focus, discipline, and independence. These qualities form the bedrock of genuine masculinity, making a man both attractive and formidable. Yet many men fall into the trap of making a woman their mission. They prioritize her above everything, treating her like the center of their universe. This mistake kills attraction because women don't want to be a man's whole world. They want to be part of a bigger vision, something enduring and meaningful. Being consumed by a woman's needs signals a lack of direction and weakens a man's presence. A man with a mission doesn't wait anxiously for her texts or drop everything to respond immediately. He does not live for fleeting moments of attention. Instead, he is relentlessly chasing his own vision with discipline and passion. This independence creates a powerful pull. It says, "I am a man who controls his own destiny." And that, in turn, sparks desire. You must ask yourself, what are you building? What drives you when the noise fades? If you can't answer these questions clearly, women will sense the void and won't stay. Practical stoicism commands you to be the architect of your own life, to carve out a mission so compelling that it fills your soul and shapes your days. This is the true path of wisdom, living with intentionality and refusing to be distracted by anything less than what truly matters. Don't make her your mission. Instead, make your mission your mission. When you do, you don't just attract women, you command respect, embody strength, and live with a sense of fulfillment that no external validation can provide. This lesson is timeless, and the paths of wisdom urge every man to remember it. Purpose is power. Without it, you drift. With it, you become unstoppable. Embrace your mission fiercely and watch how your presence transforms, how your relationships deepen, and how your life takes on new meaning. This is practical stoicism in action, the unshakable foundation every man needs to thrive in the modern world. 6. The paradox of controlled vulnerability. Listen carefully. Mastering the paradox of controlled vulnerability is not just a lesson, it's a mandate for every man who wants to win the respect, desire, and loyalty of a woman without sacrificing his own power. This is where the true Stoic win lies. Understand this clearly. Vulnerability, in its rawest form, is a double-edged sword. Show too much, and you appear weak, an open book with pages torn and fluttering in the wind, easy to tear apart. Show too little, and you come off as cold, detached, and unreachable, a fortress that no woman can enter. Women are instinctively drawn to the man who walks this razor's edge, the man who dares to be vulnerable, but only when he controls the narrative. Epictetus, the great Stoic, taught that true power is the mastery of self, the ability to govern your emotions instead of being governed by them. This is exactly what you must embody. Do not fall into the trap that so many men do, the belief that vulnerability means constant emotional disclosure, that women want a man who lays bare his soul in every moment. This is false. Women crave connection, yes, but they recoil from men who overshare, who vent endlessly, who seek emotional crutches. This behavior screams neediness. It repels. It signals instability. The difference between a man who captivates and a man who repels is the timing and manner of his vulnerability. You must reveal your inner world with precision, with care, with control. You share your struggles, but only once you've conquered them. You disclose your truths not all at once, but in measured doses, like a master storyteller revealing the plot twist slowly to build intrigue and desire. This controlled vulnerability transforms you. It creates a dynamic where a woman feels honoured and special because you choose to let her glimpse your depths. But, and here is the crucial point, you never do so from a place of weakness. You do not offload your problems or beg for reassurance. You do not let your emotions become a flood that overwhelms her. Instead, your emotions are like the ocean, vast, deep, and powerful, visible enough to invite respect and curiosity, but never chaotic or drowning. Women instinctively respect this. They are weak for men who have the courage to be open and the discipline to maintain strength simultaneously. In our chaotic modern world, where emotional instability is rampant and many men lose themselves in self-pity or emotional turmoil, you must rise above. This is the Stoic win, being emotionally intelligent without sacrificing your authority as a man. You must command your emotions, not let them command you. This is not about suppressing feelings, it's about mastery, control, and deliberate choice. When you do this, you hold the power. You create attraction not through desperation, but through strength and mystery. You become the man who rules his own world and invites a woman into it on his terms. Remember, Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Reaction is choice, and choice is power. When you master controlled vulnerability, you take charge of your story. You become a man who draws women in with magnetic force. You become the man who turns vulnerability into a weapon of seduction, not a liability. So here is your command. Own your emotions, but govern them fiercely. Reveal your soul, but do it strategically. Build intrigue by being emotionally available, but only enough to fascinate, never enough to scare away. This is how you dominate in the game of attraction today. Now take this knowledge and act. Like this message if you're ready to harness the Stoic win. Comment below with, "I control my vulnerability," to declare your commitment to mastering this powerful paradox. Subscribe to stay sharp, to grow stronger, and to become the man who wins every time. Don't let this moment pass. This is your edge in a world where too many men fail. Control your vulnerability, own your strength, and claim your victory. The choice is yours. The power is yours. Win it now. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. 7. Women are programmed to test your strength. In the world of relationships, there is a hidden reality that many men fail to recognize. Women are constantly testing their strength. These tests are not random. Rather, they are deeply ingrained in women's instincts, designed to gauge a man's true fortitude and emotional resilience. As men, we must understand that these challenges are not created out of malice or an attempt to cause trouble, but as subconscious mechanisms to assess whether a man possesses the strength of character that a woman values in a partner. Whether it's a disagreement over an opinion, a subtle attempt to provoke a reaction, or even a show of disinterest, these situations all serve the same purpose: to see if a man remains unshaken, composed, and in control. An old Stoic principle tells us, "The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. This resonates deeply when it comes to these tests. A woman may challenge your views, create small conflicts, or withdraw emotionally, all to determine if you have the iron mind to stand firm and remain unshaken. The key, however, is to understand that these actions are not a reflection of her dissatisfaction with you, but rather a filtering process. Women are instinctively seeking men who are not easily rattled, who do not collapse under pressure or react emotionally to every situation. The moment a man shows signs of weakness, whether through defensiveness, insecurity, or emotional outbursts, he loses respect in her eyes. It is imperative for men to resist the urge to respond with reactive emotion. You must develop an unyielding strength, an inner resilience akin to that of a Stoic warrior. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the essence of passing a woman's test. You must turn her challenges into opportunities to showcase your iron mind and fortitude. When faced with a challenge, don't react emotionally. Remain calm, smile, and stay unfazed. Your strength will be measured by your ability to withstand the pressure and remain composed in the face of it. For instance, if a woman challenges your opinion, do not engage in defensive behavior. Instead, respond with confidence and clarity, calmly asserting your position without becoming combative. If she pulls away emotionally or shows disinterest, resist the temptation to chase after her or seek reassurance. Stay steady and confident in yourself. Understand that a woman's respect is earned by your strength, not by your ability to please her or chase after her approval. The real test lies in your ability to maintain your composure and not allow her actions to disturb your peace of mind. A man who remains steady, who passes these tests, becomes the man that a woman cannot easily replace. She will be drawn to him, not just because of his external qualities, but because of his inner strength, his steadfastness, his ability to stay grounded no matter what challenges arise. It's important to remember that women will only test men they are attracted to. If she is testing you, take it as a sign that she sees potential in you. She is not testing you out of spite, but rather to determine if you have the strength to handle her emotions, and the complexities of a long-term relationship. In this sense, these tests are not a negative reflection of you, but rather a positive sign of her interest. They are opportunities to demonstrate that you possess the iron mind and unshakable emotional strength that she seeks in a man. A man who understands this will approach these situations with a clear understanding. He does not need to prove anything through emotional outbursts, but rather through calmness, certainty, and unwavering strength. In real life, this wisdom holds immense value. Whether you're navigating a relationship or dealing with a tough situation at work, your ability to remain composed under pressure can often be the difference between success and failure. Life throws challenges our way, and the key to overcoming them is not in reacting with fear or anger, but in maintaining that stoic calmness and resolve. Just as the Stoics teach, true power comes from within. It is the ability to control your emotions and responses that sets the strong apart from the weak. When you embody this iron mind, you become unshakable, unyielding to the storms that life brings. 8. Confidence in the face of rejection is irresistible. In the pursuit of wisdom, one of the most powerful principles you can adopt is practical stoicism. Stoicism teaches you to embrace life's challenges with unflinching resolve, especially rejection, which is one of the most common fears that plague men. However, the secret lies in how you respond to it. Men who allow rejection to shake them are weakened in the eyes of others, particularly women, but those who face it with confidence are often viewed as untouchable. You see, women are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate an unshakable sense of self-worth, and the way a man handles rejection is the ultimate litmus test of that inner strength. A man who smiles in the face of rejection, who laughs it off or even turns it into a light-hearted joke, signals to everyone around him that his value is not dependent on anyone else's approval. This is exactly where paths of wisdom intersect with emotional maturity. The reality is that the majority of men fear rejection because they feel they have no other options. This is a sign of desperation. Confidence, however, is born from the understanding that you have endless possibilities, and you are secure in your worth no matter the outcome. When you're confident, you see rejection not as a personal affront, but as a natural part of life, something that doesn't threaten your value. Now, let's consider how you can practically apply this. The next time a woman rejects you, take a step back. Don't let it deflate your energy. Instead, you can respond casually with something like, "No worries, your loss." "All right, have a great day," and then walk away with a relaxed demeanor without looking back. This simple act demonstrates to the woman that you are not emotionally affected by her decision. It shows that you are self-sufficient and unfazed. The key here is never to let rejection diminish your spirit. When you can accept rejection without it affecting your self-worth, you free yourself from the emotional weight of constantly seeking validation. This freedom, this ease in the face of rejection, is incredibly attractive. In modern life, this approach applies not just in romantic situations, but in professional and personal scenarios as well. Whether it's a job interview or a social interaction, when you stop caring about approval, people begin to gravitate toward you. They see your confidence and want to be around it. This is not about arrogance. It's about emotional maturity and resilience, two qualities that are emphasized in the paths of wisdom. Rejection, when faced with grace and humor, becomes nothing more than a minor obstacle, and with time, women will begin to notice and even chase you. It's the allure of a man who stands firm in his own value and is unshaken by the external world. And while women may admire this trait, the true power lies in you, having the confidence to remain emotionally neutral and unbothered by rejection will allow you to navigate life with a strong, purposeful direction. This is the essence of practical stoicism at its finest. Men, rejection is not a setback. It's a step toward mastering yourself. Confidence in the face of rejection is the ultimate strength. If you agree, drop a comment right now. I'm the man who stands unshaken. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, true power comes from within, not from others' approval. 9. Women obsess over men who are hard to read. In the realm of attraction, there exists a fundamental truth. Women are drawn to men who are not entirely predictable, those who leave them with a sense of curiosity and mystery. The notion that women obsess over men who are hard to read is not just a flippant observation, but an essential element of understanding human attraction. A woman will lose interest the moment she knows exactly how you feel all the time, because when the mystery fades, so does her desire to chase. It's a powerful dynamic rooted in human nature. When a man constantly lays his feelings bare, texts back too quickly, or seeks validation at every turn, he becomes too easy to read. And, as Epictetus might remind us, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. The strength of a high-value man lies not in his overt displays of emotion or an eagerness to be validated. Instead, he cultivates an aura of mystery. By selectively sharing information and responding at his own pace, often delayed, he creates space for curiosity to thrive. A woman will be drawn to him, wondering what's next, what he's thinking, how he truly feels. This keeps her mentally engaged, like a puzzle she's determined to solve, constantly intrigued, constantly wanting more. As a result, he becomes the man she can't stop thinking about. He knows that maintaining that element of unpredictability is not a game. It's simply the essence of maintaining the allure that fuels the chase. A woman needs to feel the tension of not knowing everything. As Epictetus taught, freedom is the only sure possession. The high-value man gives a woman this freedom, the freedom to wonder, to chase, to anticipate. Without it, the relationship becomes stagnant, a simple transaction rather than a dynamic, living connection. So if you want her to be obsessed with you, keep a piece of yourself just out of her reach. Be the one who excites her imagination, not the one who gives away every piece of himself. Don't reveal everything. Let curiosity build the desire. Remember, the man who can master this art is the man who will not only be desired, but respected. This is the power of a modern Stoic approach to relationships, to maintain control, to keep the mystery, to win her over with your strength, not your vulnerability. This isn't about manipulation. It's about having the confidence to hold your ground, to make her chase, and to never, ever settle for being predictable. When you embody this, you embody the true power of the Stoic mindset, poised, strong, and never easily swayed. Your ability to remain calm, unpredictable, and mysterious will leave her wondering and ultimately chasing. Don't settle for mediocrity. Embrace the Stoic path to mastery. When you master the art of unpredictability, you will win in ways others cannot even begin to imagine. 10. A man who controls his desires controls everything. In the world of relationships, one undeniable truth stands tall. A man who controls his desires controls everything. This is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, principles in both life and attraction. A man who allows his desires to dictate his actions is a man who is enslaved by his impulses. In stark contrast, the men who are in full control of their emotions and desires are the ones who wield power. Women, in particular, find themselves drawn to men who are self-disciplined, whose actions are guided not by fleeting lust, but by a higher sense of purpose and control. The allure lies not in desperation, but in the quiet strength that comes from having an iron mind, the ability to prioritize long-term goals over short-term gratification. As the Old Stoic wisdom teaches, the more you know yourself, the less you are controlled by others. When a man doesn't chase women, when he's not desperate for their approval or validation, he exudes a level of independence that is magnetic. A man who's too focused on his desires to see beyond them will always be distracted and lost. But a man who places his mission above all, who can stand firm and walk away when necessary, will not only command respect, but also become an object of intense desire. The essence of attraction isn't in the chase, it's in the refusal to be caught up in it. Women are drawn to men who have boundaries, who possess self-discipline, and who maintain their standards despite the world around them pushing for compromise. Men who hold firm in their principles, who know when to say no, and who never let their pleasure become their purpose, are the ones who stand tall and unshaken. The moment a man stops chasing women is the moment he becomes irresistible. This doesn't mean that he neglects or ignores relationships, but that he prioritizes his own growth, goals, and life's purpose over any superficial desire. By doing so, he doesn't need to chase. The women will chase him instead. Women, subconsciously, are attracted to men who value themselves enough to not bend to their impulses. The true power comes when a man stands firm in his mission, when his actions speak louder than his desires. It's the embodiment of an iron mind, unshaken, resilient, and unwavering in the face of temptation. Think about the Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius or Seneca. These men weren't ruled by their emotions. They understood that true power lies not in indulgence, but in restraint. The great Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the iron mind in action, the ability to control one's own thoughts and desires, to maintain focus on what truly matters, and to let nothing sway you from your path. It's this mindset that makes a man a leader, a man who is not at the mercy of external forces, including his desires. Remember this, your greatest strength is in your ability to control your impulses. A man who walks through life with purpose and direction, who keeps his emotions in check, is a man who is both powerful and attractive. Women see this strength, this calm resolve, and they are drawn to it. It is the paradox of desire. When you stop chasing, you are chased. The more a man aligns himself with his mission, the more irresistible he becomes. A man who is too caught up in the chase will never know peace. He will always be searching for something outside of himself to validate his worth. But a man who has mastery over himself, who walks with his purpose as his compass, will never be lost. This is not just a rule of attraction. It is a rule of life. The Stoics knew this. They knew that true happiness and fulfillment come not from indulging in every whim, but from practicing discipline, from standing firm in the face of temptation, and from choosing long-term satisfaction over short-term pleasure. In life, whether in relationships, work, or personal growth, the ability to control one's desires is paramount. When you control your desires, you control your fate. And when you control your fate, you unlock the true power of attraction. So, take control of your desires, prioritize your mission, and watch as the world begins to chase you. It's the old Stoic way. Calm, disciplined, and driven by a purpose greater than any momentary pleasure. This is the path of true power. As the great Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The less you crave, the more you possess. Control your desires, and you will have everything you need. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. I hope you found these insights helpful. Remember, Attraction isn't about playing games. It's about understanding the deeper psychology of connection and focusing on personal growth. Women are naturally drawn to men who show strength, purpose, and self-respect. When you embody these qualities, you'll never have to chase. Women will be drawn to you because they need someone who has it all together. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Guide for more timeless wisdom on mastering life and attraction. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and never chase.